Wednesday Hump Day afternoon.
Happy Wednesday. It's Danny Dupuis here with Colette on the special report. We also have Chris in the corner we'll be throwing to shortly.
All right. Before we get there, we want to just acknowledge today is April Fool's Day. It is Hump Day. It is the first day of 420 for the next 30 days, considering it's the fourth month of the 20th year.
So get ready for those 420s, everyone.
And it's National Walk Day, too, right?
It is. We got a few days going on. But one thing particular that is not a joke, Colette had a chance to speak about this.
Yeah.
A tractor trailer lugging toilet paper caught on fire near Texas.
No, it did not.
It did. Oh my God. There is a video that goes with it, you know.
There it is there. I think it's up now for you to see. Look at all that toilet paper. Tell me if you were driving by, you wouldn't stop and grab a roll.
Oh, I would have.
I absolutely would. I had to. But, you know, it did actually catch on fire, too. We are going to throw over to Chris. We're going to throw over to Chris. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. We're not. We're going to throw over to the Premier, who we're going to go live to right now.
Of course we are.
In these unprecedented times, we must not forget for one moment that we're facing a ruthless enemy. A terrible, terrible virus that is spreading around the world at an alarming rate, infecting people from all walks of life, overwhelming hospitals, killing thousands of people. And if we're going to beat this enemy, we need to remember that this virus doesn't travel on its own. It's people that help spread it. So when we stop moving, when we limit contact with one another, the deadly reach of this virus slows down. This morning, our Chief Medical Officer told all municipalities in Ontario to enforce self-isolation for people who have tested positive for COVID-19. Anyone suspected of having the virus and anyone in close contact with them. We have shown so far that we are fully prepared to take every action necessary to slow the spread of this virus and protect Ontarians. And we will not hesitate to take further action. My friends, the hard truth is, right now, today, there's very little separating what we will face here in Ontario from the devastation we've seen in Italy and in Spain. Thousands of lives are at stake. And the actions we take today, what we do as a government and as a people, today will determine what we face tomorrow. And these next 2 weeks will be absolutely critical because we know a surge is coming. And it's up to each of us. It's up to every person in Ontario when that surge happens. And every week, every day, every hour, we can push back the surge of this deadly virus is another week, another day, another hour that we have to prepare. More time to get desperately needed equipment and supplies. And I've said from the beginning of this that we can't count on traditional supply chains. We can't count on global supply chains for this critical equipment. We need to mobilize Ontario's manufacturing might because there's nothing we can't make here in Ontario. My friends, there is hope because in these dark days, the Ontario spirit is shining stronger than ever. A week and a half ago, we launched the Ontario Together portal, and we put out a call to all Ontario businesses. We asked them to join the fight against COVID-19, and the response was incredible. We have an army of 14.5 million people all across this great province, hundreds of thousands of innovators and entrepreneurs who have the ability to make the tools we need to fight the virus. Innovators like Spartan Bioscience in Ottawa, who are making portable test kits that you can take anywhere and see test results within an hour. Entrepreneurs like Virox Technologies in Oakville, who created a disinfectant that kills the virus within 30 seconds on any surface. Pioneers like Thornhill Medical, who are making a portable ventilator, and they're doing a great job. Woodbridge, an auto parts manufacturer, is currently testing an N95 equivalent mask with Health Canada. And if they get approval, they'll be able to produce millions of these masks right here in Ontario. When you're fighting a deadly virus, these are the people you want in your corner. And today, we're giving Ontario businesses some more ammunition to beat COVID-19 and back up our frontline healthcare workers. The next steps in our plan to mobilize Ontario's manufacturing might is $50 million in a new Ontario Together fund. This fund will help factories retool their production line to make the items we need, like face masks, gloves, swabs, ventilators, and lab testing equipment. We've signed a deal. We've placed an unprecedented order for 10,000 ventilators with O2 Medical Technologies. And the world-class manufacturers like Martin Rea, Magna, and Linamar. That's 10,000 ventilators made right here in Ontario for our hospitals that will save lives. My friends, this is a game changer, and we will keep going. I want our frontline healthcare workers to know that we have your back. Ontario's manufacturing machine has your back. 14.5 million people have your back. And my goal, what I want more than anything right now, is for Ontario to be in a position to support all of Canada. I want Ontario to be the manufacturing engine for all of Canada. We have a lot of work to do, and if we're going to get there, but I truly believe we will get there. I believe we will make what we need right here in Ontario, and then we're going to focus our industrial powerhouse on fighting the virus right across our great nation. So if you can make these life-saving items, if you can retool your business, your province needs you now, and your country needs you now. We have a long and difficult road ahead of us. We have some dark days ahead, but with today's announcement, we're going to ensure that we come out of this stronger and more united than ever. And together, we will beat COVID-19, because this is what Canada is all about. This is what Canadians are all about. Thank you, and God bless the people of Ontario. Now I'll turn things over to Minister Fedeli.
Thank you, Premier. The situation with COVID-19 is changing day by day. In these unprecedented times, we really do need all hands on deck. And the grit, the compassion, the ingenuity, and the strength of all Ontarians has been nothing short of inspiring. We live in unprecedented times, and we can all be proud of how businesses in Ontario have stepped up for their workers, for their communities, and for the province. From day one, businesses large and small have been calling, emailing, and texting, offering their services to help us in the fight against COVID-19. Spirits distilleries all across the province are stepping up to the plate and manufacturing hand sanitizers. Inksmith, a company who specializes in education technology, is now using their 3D printers to print face shields for our frontline workers. They're aptly calling them the Canadian Shields. They are also spreading the word across the province to other 3D printer owners to assist in the production of the headbands to attach to these shields. And as the Premier just announced, our government has placed an order with O2 Medical Technologies to produce 10,000 ventilator units by working with our advanced manufacturing sector. These incredible achievements are just a small sample of the kind of work underway right across Ontario. And now, more than ever, we need companies like these, from manufacturing specialists to the technology entrepreneurs, to work with us. Our job as government is to make it easy as possible for all of you. You have already heard about the Ontario Together website we launched a week ago Saturday. The response has been incredible. We have seen so many innovative proposals from organizations representing every facet of the Ontario economy. And now, to help businesses with successful proposals pivot quickly to manufacturing those critical supplies and equipment that we need, you heard the Premier, we are launching the Ontario Together Fund. We are providing one-time funding of $50 million this year for companies joining us in the fight against COVID-19. This will be available to companies and organizations across the entire province. It's designed to provide immediate resources to these companies so they can begin the work of retooling or building capacity quickly and efficiently. And we will be funding the most viable, innovative proposals that provide the greatest benefit to the people of Ontario the fastest. If you or your business has an idea, supplies, or the ability to innovate a solution to the COVID-19, please log on to ontario.ca/Ontario Together and submit your proposal. We will leave no stone unturned as we join together with Ontario's greatest workers and business leaders to fight the spread of COVID-19. As the Premier has said, we are all on the same team, Team Ontario, Team Canada, and the teamwork is going to be what gets us through these dark days ahead. It's teamwork that will ensure our healthcare system and our frontline workers, such as police officers, correctional officers, and social workers, are equipped with what they need to fight against COVID-19. It's teamwork that will make sure we all maintain social distancing and take the proper precautions so we can protect the health and well-being of everyone in Ontario. And it's teamwork that will help us build a stronger, even more prosperous province. Greatest place in the world, the greatest people in the world, as we work together to combat this pandemic. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to the phone line for questions. First question.
First question comes from Rob Ferguson from the Toronto Star. Please go ahead.
Fergie?
Rob, your line is open. Please go ahead.
Hello, Premier.
Hi, Rob.
Just wondering, you talked about the surge is coming. I'm assuming that means that you have a projection. So what and when can we expect from this surge when you're referencing Italy?
Welcome back. Well, 50 million.
That's a
lot of money. And how about that amazing spray, disinfectant spray that they
30
come up with?
seconds?
30 seconds, clean on its contact
Yeah.
surface. You know what? Maybe we should do is take this time to throw over to Chris and take his advice and see what he can update us on COVID-19, as well as just a briefing of what the Premier just said.
Thank you. Well, that's pretty amazing. That Ontario Together Fund, they announced it last week. They basically put a call out to all businesses in Ontario and said, this is what we need. Can you retool your factories to make this? Because obviously right now we can't rely on masks and ventilators coming from other countries because everybody's making those as fast as they can and then only using them in their own countries. So $50 million for that Ontario Together Fund is a fantastic start to helping us fight COVID-19, not only here in Ontario but across Canada. You heard Doug Ford talk about, he said that he wants the fund to the Ontario to be the manufacturing engine for Canada to fight against COVID-19. That's also good from an economic standpoint because that means we need people to work in those factories, so that'll help bring people back to work. Plus, we'll be exporting that to the rest of Canada and possibly even into other countries as well after we've taken care of our own people first. Now, making 10,000 portable ventilators is a very big start because then they can be easily moved around from one hospital to another depending on where there's hot spots and outbreaks. And also they can be put into nursing homes as well. Now, making 1 million masks here in Ontario is a great start. I know that many nurses have reached out to me that they're only getting 1 or 2 masks per shift, and they'd like more access to personal protective equipment. So that's a good start, that we'll be able to manufacture them right here in Ontario. It also reduces the travel time as well, because we're not trying to ship something from California up to Ontario. We're only shipping it probably a couple hours from where the plant is, or we can fly them around as well. The other thing is the distilleries are now making hand sanitizer. So instead of making vodka, they're making hand sanitizer. This is also a good thing. We don't have to rely on trying to find hand sanitizer elsewhere, because it's just non-existent. Anyone who's been into a store lately knows that hand sanitizer has not been on the shelf for at least 2 weeks. And even our nursing homes are having a hard time getting enough hand sanitizer into their homes. Also, we just got a message saying that Wimbledon is canceled this year. This is the first time Wimbledon has actually been canceled since 1945 at the end of World War II. For those of you who are used to flying on Air Canada, Air Canada has suspended their service to the Sault Ste. Marie Airport until at least the end of April, and we'll see what happens at that point. They may or may not start flying again. Also, you can still take Northland Bus if you want. It is interesting how they're defining social distancing. They've cut the amount of people on the bus in half, so you have to take a window seat. So you are 6 feet apart from the person across from you. However, you're not 6 feet apart for the people who are in front and behind you. I'd like to praise the public transit here in town, as they are actually social distancing people in all direction on a bus, meaning that only 10 or 12 people can fit on each bus. So thank you to the transit system here in town for actually finding ways to social distance people on a bus. I will now send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Chris. I don't think we're going to cop on that bus anytime soon.
No.
But what we do want to do, just to
They should just rename it COVID-19 bus.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We want to pay homage to it being April Fool's Day in a tasteful way, right? I mean, we've got a couple minutes left here in the show. We will be back tomorrow, 8 a.m., just so you know. And Chris does have COVID-19 updates that follow through the day, and there will be news at 5, which will tell you more about the toilet paper that went on fire. But quickly, we need to do some April Fools for people who are social distancing.
Yeah.
I heard a good one. Okay.
Did you? Okay, let's hear it.
I think we should do it. We should have done this to Chris. Okay. We should. So you can go into your autocorrect and you can change your words out instead of when you're supposed to say hey or hey you can say I'm the hottest.
Oh my god.
Or
I had that happen. Friends of mine stole my phone and did that to me. So
no way.
Every time that they said, can you come hang out, my excuse was always like, oh, sorry, I have practice or I have work. So they just changed it to automatically, I can't.
Okay, so you're a victim already
I am
of
a victim
social distance April Fools. Another good one, kids. Maybe you could do a landmine of like glasses of water everywhere. You can do that. Ooh, I almost took the tulips out. Another good one that I saw was swap out your family photos. Either, put every picture of yourself in, or I don't know, put your dog in, find the hottest guy, put all his pictures in your family. Who knows? Maybe you have a doppelganger, you can switch that in. I do know my little Dante. He actually asked me the other day for an Oreo if I wanted an Oreo cookie, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, I can do that. He put toothpaste in the middle of that. So thank you, Dante. So there's another little one that you can do.
I would have been so
if you're
upset if that had happened to me. I love Oreos. Love them.
But it was just like a mint Oreo, so it was kind of cool.
I wanted to. I was kind of thinking about it this morning. Since we do the show at 8 in the morning, we get up a little bit earlier. Yeah. I was going to switch out my dad's sugar for his coffee and do salt. But then I was like, ooh, maybe that's a little bit too far.
This is the girl who brings my coffee in the morning, or I'll bring hers.
Oh, you better watch out.
I can remember that. So until we get salt in our coffee tomorrow, we're going to say goodbye. We'll see you at 8 a.m. Have an awesome April Fool's Hump Day today.
Have a great day, everyone.